Hello, welcome to the Yoga Therapy Institute. I'm Montserrat, welcome. And today I'm going to talk about should we and how could we introduce spirituality into our work as yoga therapists or as yoga facilitators. Now, as always, I'd like to offer you a practical case. This was actually a client who was truly struggling through the treatment of lung cancer, first chemotherapy and then getting ready for radiotherapy. And you could really tell that she was having a terrible time. She was struggling physically, extremely exhausted, with signs of depression. And some of the comments that she made me understand that this suffering was going much deeper than the layers of the physical. So one day we were doing practices, as we do, of course, in yoga therapy. We do physical practices, which are very effective, breathing techniques, but there's a lot more to this. So we were just sitting with a wall behind us, just like this, doing some small movements. And then I asked her, I said, so do you believe in anything? Is there anything you believe in? And I said, it doesn't have to be a god or a goddess or anything like that. And is there anything that inspires you, that opens your heart? And she took a moment to think about it. And she said, yes. Well, I believe that all of this is happening for a reason. And that whatever it is, it must be. And I believe in the love of my family. Now, this client was not a spiritual person that you would call religious or anything like that. She was actually a lot in her rational mind, very academic. But when she was going through this suffering and these challenging times, there was something deeper that she was tapping into. And that helped her to get out of bed every morning, however hard that was. Now, this is the spiritual aspect that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about that most subtle aspect or dimension that is beyond the physical and beyond what we can see, and perhaps sometimes can be a little bit hard to explain and even sometimes embarrassing. Now, this spiritual aspect, as we're going to call it, could be when I wake up in the mornings and the kids are asleep, and then I sit in my balcony to have my first cup of tea of the day. When I read a book sitting in my living room by the sun. When my cat or my dog is sitting on my lap and we have just that quiet moment and I listen to their breathing. Maybe perhaps when you go for a walk with a dear friend and you share and you laugh and you look out and you think this is a moment of sharing, a moment of intimacy, small or large. Perhaps when we look out to the sky and we see that perhaps there's something much larger than us. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about introducing or including spirituality and bringing it into the room of your work as a yoga therapist. In some cases, this is easier than others. You mustn't obsess with it to say, oh, I have to talk about something spiritual with my client. Not at all, because you're going to have clients going to walk out of the door if you talk to them about anything like this. But slowly find out about that human being. Find out what inspires them. That is that more subtle aspect. And when you invite it in the room and you make it part of the process of healing or facilitating healing, then you're going to be working not with that person only physically, but with the whole human being. Now, that is the essential part of working as a yoga therapist. And I hope that this has inspired you in some way to understand what it means to bring in the spiritual aspects into the work of a yoga therapist or as a yoga facilitator, and how religion has nothing to do with it. But it can be very helpful and very meaningful for that person when everything else in their life has gone wrong. So if you'd like to know more, Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a lot more coming up. And also go to our website. You can subscribe to our newsletter, join any of our courses. In any case, even if you don't, I really enjoyed talking to you here. And I hope to see you soon. Take care.